Welcome to the 10th Annual Hour with a Hero. Please stand for the presentation of the colors and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the singing of the National Anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated.
Every day, an American citizen becomes a part of the greatest military in the world. Every day, more than 22 veterans die from suicide due to PTSD. Every day, we walk these halls, do our daily routine without fear of war breaking out in our parking lot. Every day, we're protected by America's finest, and we are here today because of these people. So join me not just today, but every day in showing our appreciation for these veterans and active military members who risk their lives for our freedom.
Picked us up from Okinawa. When we went to get on a C-130 to be transferred to Vietnam, they were unloading body bags. That was a rude awakening because I knew that me or some of the guys could be coming back that way.
Today is a time for Americans to reconnect with their history and the values of honoring and remembering those who willingly and literally faced death for the freedom and ideals we as Americans cherish.
Every day, we are defended by the lives of our fellow Americans. But who are they?
My brother.
My cousin.
My dad.
My dad.
My grandpa and my uncles.
My grandpa.
My father, my brother, and myself.
My dad, my father-in-law, my son, and my students.
We are here today to say thank you, and we are honored to know you. There are many men and women serving today in all branches of this military, here at home and in places far away, some places you never knew about. And they are a part of the best trained, best equipped force in the world. We honor them and their families for the sacrifices they make each and every day to keep our country safe from terrorism, hatred, and injustice.
Everything that has to do with the United States of America, there's no place like the USA. I mean, whether it's freedom, or whether it's food, or whether it's your family, or whether it's entertainment, or whether it's just the good old USA, you miss the country.
The American soldier, he has sacrificed his blood, his sweat, his tears, and sometimes even his life for his country. And we cannot fathom that because we have not walked through his shoes. We have not seen the things that he has seen. We have not heard what he has heard. So join me, not just today, but every day, in thanking the veteran.
Staff Sergeant Cory Trammell enlisted October 14, 2004 as a combat medic. He completed basic training and advanced training and responded to Hurricane Katrina for a month in 2005. Trammell was mobilized in August of 2006 to go to Balad, Iraq to be a platoon medic for the Engineer Battalion from Jonesboro, Arkansas. He returned to Arkansas October of 2007 and went straight to training soldiers deploying to Kuwait, Iraq, Kosovo, Afghanistan, and Africa. From 2007 until November of 2009, he trained 8 different states for deployment. In November 2009, he was notified that he would be a member of the Arkansas Agricultural Development Team going to Zabul Province in Afghanistan from February of 2010 until January of 2011. His military schools include Combat Medic, Senior Leadership Course, Infantry Transition, Instructor, Combatives Level 3, Tactical Certification Course, and numerous other medical and leadership courses. His decorations include Combat Field Medical Badge, Combat Action Badge, Army Commendation Medal with an oak leaf cluster, Army Achievement Medal with an oak leaf cluster, and Meritus Unit Citation with an oak leaf cluster, to highlight a few. So please help me welcome Staff Sergeant Cory Trammell.
Good morning. So as mentioned, I'm Staff Sergeant Trammell. Actually still in the service as of today. I have now 11 years of service, and I'm honored to be here today, and thank you for coming out. Put a little small presentation together for you guys. Whoops. So one of the things that they asked us is, what does Veterans Day mean to us? Well, Veterans Day has a broad topic and a broad meaning to a lot of people. To me, this is a time for remembrance of those that have passed along before me, that I have served side by side with, and that have passed along as well. So it's a double-edged. It's an honor to be able to stand up here and say that I am still alive today and that I have served this great nation. And at the same time, there's sadness that builds because of 3 distinct members that I remember that I served with that have since passed away. The other thing that comes to mind is that it was hard to fathom that when I was in high school, by the age of 21, I would have already been a combat veteran of the Iraq theater. And by the age of 25, I would have already completed at least 1 tour in Afghanistan. It's different to be able to know that today, looking back, that people do appreciate those things, and in that everyone does view them differently. But at the same time, we do this for you. So thank you. Some of the things that we look at, people say, well, it's always bad overseas, so I want to start with the good. This was on my base that I was at in Iraq. This is Balad. So yes, that is an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and so I did get to occasionally go swimming while I was in Iraq. So this is the good. But it still gets better. Oops, I got these out of You have the better. We also had a movie theater. This was right across the road from where I stayed as well. So every day they would play at least 2 movies. The start of each movie, they would always have the national anthem to remind us why we were there and what we were doing. We would also get the daily update or daily news back from the United States to let us know what was happening in our piece of the world as well. So you have the better here. And lastly, you have the best. This was the platoon from Alpha Company, which is another unit that I was with. This is one team that actually lost a member. this is a long-lasting fellowship and friendships that I will never forget. These gentlemen all live in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and it is a great honor to know that I could pick up the phone any day and call any one of these guys, and they will be there for me. So that's why we always say this is the best part of it. Regardless of what branch you're in or who you serve with, you always have somebody that you can turn to for help. While we were in Iraq, I was part of a route clearance team. Now, this isn't my patrol specifically because I ran nights. However, this is what I did. I drove up and down the road no more than looking for bombs and hoping that they blew up on me instead of somebody else. My job was to ensure that supplies, whether that's fuel, food, or housing, made it from one point of Iraq to the other as safely and as quickly as possible. So this is what I would do. I would hold up traffic, looking for bombs and saying, hey, please, take it on me instead of somebody else. So this is one vehicle that I rode in for most of the year until they decided that, well, it's too dangerous for you to stay in there as the only medic on the patrol, so they moved me into a vehicle like this one. This is a RG. It has a giant camera there on the back left of this vehicle. It goes up 25 feet in the air, and this is one of the ways that you can go out here and you can scan around and use it to your advantage to find things that are out there that you can't see with just the naked eye. We also got to play with these little robots. Now, unfortunately, we did have a couple that didn't make it with us leaving. However, it's better to blow up one of these unmanned things than it is to take somebody and have them walk through and say, good luck. So that's two pieces of it. Like I said, I did go to Afghanistan in 2010. It was a quick notice and a quick leave. Probably one of the hardest tours that I would have had because my daughter was right at 4 months old when I left. And I was put in charge as a senior medic for the security forces team, and I had 65 people that I was dealing with on a regular basis. So Arkansas is always proud of what we do. So of course, you got to take the Razorback with you everywhere. So on every one of our vehicles, whether it was the door or up on the top of them, you always had a hog with you and you always knew, hey, here comes Arkansas. Our mission had a great impact. It's not like some of the other ones where they say, we had a negative impact and we were always doing something on the aggressive side. Our mission was designed to help the people of Afghanistan and to help them to better their futures. This is one of our missions where we go out, we would sit down and talk in a village, and we would show these people how to be more productive in their crops and their growth and their vegetation and those types of things. And so most people looked at us and they said, hey, we don't want to mess with these guys because they're always bringing us gifts and they're helping us with bettering our lives. And so we were always able to come out and bring something to help somebody's community and say, hey, we started off in Arkansas and this is what we do at home. And we were taking it to the local people because of generations of war, separating them from basic things as how to grow tomatoes or how to grow their grapes. So it was a great honor to be there. This is a portion of our unit. This is when they actually awarded us our combat patches. In this case, my third one. I'm actually the one standing on the front row on the right side, on the very edge of the picture there. So a lot of good gentlemen there. And this was my whole unit as an overall. The hillside that we're standing on is actually on top of a palace. There was a lot of conflict that happened there in the early 2000s. However, while we were there, with Arkansas backing, being able to help the people, it went a long ways, and a lot of positive came about it. And this is something that I'll never forget and something we'll always be proud of. With that, I do thank you for the time today to be able to come up here and show you bits and pieces of what I've done. Now, like you said, I've traveled around the world and I've helped to impact a lot of lives, and that's why I enjoy staying in today. So, thank you.
At this time, we'd like to thank our Veteran of the Hour, Staff Sergeant Cory Trammell, for sharing his story with us. At this time, we'd also like to recognize all the veterans in our audience today. If you are a veteran, please stand in attendance. On behalf of Har-Ber High School East and Har-Ber High School, we thank all our veterans for serving this country, and we thank you for attending today. You guys are dismissed.